Picture this. You have been in the bath a while, or washing a tall pile of dishes, and you glance down at your fingertips. The smooth skin is gone. Instead, your fingers are covered in soft little ridges and valleys, all wrinkled up like a raisin or a prune. We have all seen this, probably hundreds of times since we were small. And almost all of us were handed the same simple answer. Your skin just soaked up water and swelled, like a sponge in the sink. It sounds obvious, but it turns out that neat little explanation is actually wrong. So today, let us find out why our fingers really wrinkle in water. Here's the first surprise. For a long time, people assumed the wrinkles were passive, that your skin behaved like a sponge, quietly drinking in water and puffing up until the surface buckled. It is a reasonable guess. But scientists kept noticing things that did not fit. If wrinkling were only swelling, it should happen anywhere on your body that stays wet long enough, and it should be completely out of your control. Neither of those is true. The wrinkles show up mainly on your fingers and toes, and they depend on something working quietly under the skin. So this is not really soaking at all. This is your body doing something on purpose. So what is really going on? The answer lives in your nervous system, in the automatic part that runs without you ever thinking about it, the same system that handles your heartbeat and sweat. When your hands or feet stay underwater for a few minutes, that system sends out a small signal. In response, the tiny blood vessels just beneath the skin of your fingers begin to narrow. Doctors call this vasoconstriction, which simply means the vessels tighten and shrink a little. That is the hidden first move. Not water creeping in from the outside, but blood vessels squeezing in from the inside, set off by your own nerves. Now, why would tightening vessels carve ridges into the surface? Picture the skin of your fingertip as a snug cover stretched over the tissue underneath. In certain spots, the upper layer of skin is anchored down, tied to the deeper layers below it. So when the vessels and tissue underneath shrink just slightly, the surface suddenly has a little more area than it needs. With nowhere flat to go, the skin puckers and folds, pulling inward at the anchored points and bulging up between them. Those folds are the wrinkles you see. It is a bit like a fitted bedsheet gathering into ridges when the mattress beneath shrinks a little. And here's the clue that really proves. It is the nerves doing the work, not the water. Doctors looked at people who had nerve damage in a hand, for example an injury to the median nerve, a main nerve running into your fingers. They placed those hands in warm water and waited. On the healthy side, the fingers wrinkled as usual. But in the area fed by the damaged nerve, the skin stayed perfectly smooth. Same water, same time, same person, and yet no wrinkles. If wrinkling were just swelling, that could never happen. The skin needs a working nerve signal to pucker, which tells us the whole thing is a reflex run by the body. There is also a reason it lands on fingers and toes, not your back or belly. The wrinkling happens on what is called glabrous skin, the smooth, hairless skin on your palms, the soles of your feet, and the pads of your fingers and toes. That kind of skin is packed with the tiny blood vessels and nerve endings this reflex leans on. It usually takes about 5 minutes of soaking for the ridges to fully form. And once you dry off and the vessels relax back to normal, the wrinkles quietly smooth themselves away again as if nothing had ever happened. So your body spends real effort building these wrinkles. That raises a lovely question. What are they for? The leading idea is wonderfully practical. The wrinkles may work like the tread on a tire or the grooves on a rain boot. Those little channels give water somewhere to escape from under your fingertip, so the soft pads can press flat and grip wet things instead of slipping. Researchers had people pick up wet objects, and wrinkled fingers handled them a little faster and more surely than smooth ones. I will be honest though, this grip idea is still only the leading hypothesis. It has real support, but scientists are genuinely debating it. So next time, look at your prune fingers and try gripping something wet. So there it is. Your fingers do not wrinkle because they soaked up water like a sponge. They wrinkle because your nervous system notices the water, quietly tightens the blood vessels under your skin, and folds the surface into those soft ridges very likely to help you grip. It is not damage, and it is not soaking. It is your body switching on a tiny, clever feature without ever asking you first. If this was helpful, take a second to subscribe and leave a like. It quietly helps the channel grow. Thanks for staying curious with me today. Until next time. Take care.